Radio Retro Future.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen, this is Bonsert of Radio Retro Future, and today I'll be making a bit of an off-the-cuff video for Matt Grayson, who's written an article on the Steampunk Journal called The Future of Steampunks at Whitby Goth Weekend. And this is about an article that was written in the Guardian, in English newspaper, about this weekend and all the responses that got. One of the responses read, "Yet again another Whitby Goth Weekend article with no actual Goths, just people in fancy dress. I would love one year when they actually put the real Goths in. It makes a real mockery out of us and their actual Goths that go for the music event that it is." So here's the problem that they're proposing, that there are too many Steampunks at a Goth weekend. I never heard of the Goth weekend before, so I can only guess what's going on there, but it does, for me at least, indicate something I've been saying for quite a while now, and that is that people are losing interest in Goth. So there's been this trend for a while, at least here in the Netherlands, that a lot of Goths became Steampunks. And one of the reasons they gave me was there are only so many shades of black, and they simply got tired of it. Another thing that I noticed with the Goths, that is when people started to do new things with it, because they got tired of the old aesthetic. These new people basically separated into their own little subcultures, and those finally vanished because people lost interest. Many of the Goths gather around or come together during parties, and when those parties are stopped being organized for whatever reason, one of the big reasons was people simply lost interest. People stopped going, and this subculture practically died. Only a handful of hardcore Goths would keep it alive, basically. But that, of course, does not draw in a lot of new blood, especially when they become so conservative that they want to keep that particular style they started out with alive and not allow for a lot of innovation. And this brings me back to the Steampunks. I've said this a lot of times about Steampunks as well, that if we go down this route, the same will happen to us. There are people who want to do their own little things with Steampunk, whatever, call it splatterpunk or anything like it. It doesn't matter. I don't like those labels for this very reason, because those people who are interested in such things might leave the Steampunk community because they don't feel accepted. Because people say there's only one kind of Steampunk. A style that's poorly defined and will probably not be properly defined for another 20 years or so, if we can keep it alive that long. Not if we go this route that we see here. Now, to begin with, when I hear that Steampunks say, "Oh, there are too many people of other genres coming to our events," I will condemn that. That is exactly what I'm talking about. This is, be happy people show interest for things you do. Be happy that people appreciate what you do. Are people in normal clothes allowed to come to see what's going on? It is really strange to me. You're trying to scare people away like that. And it's coming from a community that loves to say how inclusive it is. And a lot of people find it very inclusive in the beginning. But I also know a lot of people who don't think that way anymore, after having spent a few years there. And for good reason. I experienced plenty of this myself. Now, going back to the Goths. I don't know all that many Goths. I know former Goths. And they told me pretty much what I told you just now. About why they stopped going there. This is just that downward spiral that Goths has gone on to when they started to exclude people that wanted to do something new with the genre. So you've got people saying, well, there are not enough Goths during these Goth weekends. So other Goths that hear it will think, oh, well, I shouldn't go there, meaning that less Goths will go to that weekend, meaning that there will be no Goths in a couple of years because, you know, it does not meet their requirements. But this is the Goths' fault, not that of Steampunks. This is like the pot calling the kettle black, no pun intended. But if Steampunks, like some people who have responded to this article, say, yeah, that would be a bad thing, and this is exactly the reason why. This is what you'll get. You'll get people of other genres coming to steampunk conventions, while your group is getting smaller and smaller there. And well, and finally the organizer will just quit. Or they'll just cater to all those other groups instead, because the Goths, in this case, have decided not to come anymore, because of arbitrary reasons. And this is more that it means to me more than anything else. So this rivalry, yeah, I think it's a problem the Goths have had for a longer time. And it's something I foresee will happen to Steampunk. I already see it happening. Just hope that these people don't get that much of a platform to espouse these, well, I would say almost bigoted opinions. Because you're basically saying that only we are allowed to enjoy these events for reasons I do not understand. I mean, it's hard enough for organizers to keep their events alive, to bring in enough visitors to make ends meet. I mean, events cost money. You know, the only thing that will keep these events alive is people keep coming. So when you start screaming, yeah, well, our group ain't welcome there, yeah, people stop coming. So the choice is yours. You can either keep supporting these events, or you can't, and it will disappear.